When was the last time that you said, I just don't do that, or that's just not who I am? Do you find yourself ever getting defensive to somebody's criticism and then your quick response is, well, that's just how I am? How do you think that kind of stunts your relationship with that person, but also your own growth? Maybe it's time for a new response. I'm Sage, I'm a growth coach, and the topic today is, here's your new response. I'm willing to work on that. How can using the phrase, I'm willing to work on that, change your life? Well, it demonstrates this open mind kind of energy and a positive attitude. You know, I think as humans, we get nervous about criticizing somebody else, especially when we need them to rise up and meet us for some change. And we get really nervous about doing that because people, most of the time are quick to putting up a defense wall. And if we can, even though we're like, ooh, I don't know about that, and we get defensive, if we can kind of breathe through that cringy moment and go, yeah, okay, I hear you. I'm willing to work on that. That calms down the tension in the situation, and it proves to the other person that you're more open and willing. Also, number 2 is it builds relationships. We're all here navigating this weird earth school life, and people are brought into our lives for reasons, right? And we thrive off of those relationships, and we need them and we use them for growth. So if you are just going to shut down when somebody gives you a growth opportunity, what is that doing to the relationship? And third, using that phrase, I'm willing to work on this, also does something really cool. It reprograms not only your brain, but your energy. You send that kind of energy out like, yeah, I'm down for some growth, out into the universe. The universe is like, yeah, okay, she's about ready to level up. And it's sending that back to you. So keep that in mind. All right, here's a couple quotes on this topic. Let's normalize, I'm willing to work on that, instead of, that's just who I am, unknown. And if you ever have these two things, the willingness to change and the acceptance of everything as it comes, you will have all that you need to work with. Charlotte Selver. That's a good one. So a couple questions for you. When was the last time you just closed up and got defensive and said something like, well, that's just how I am to somebody else? How could choosing to change your language change your life? So here are 3 ways to change your willingness to growth. Number 1, state it. State it loud enough for others to hear, and your heart to hear, and your brain to hear, and the universe to hear. Okay, state it. Okay, if you say, okay, I'm willing to work on that, you're putting that energy out there. So state it. Don't just think it in your head. Don't just get in your car later and oh, I probably should have done this. State it out loud. Number 2, you want to surround yourself with support. Okay? Growth isn't easy. If it was, everybody'd be doing it. And that's why I built this page and this group, so that we can make sure that we're supporting each other in growth. It takes a village, people. It takes a village. So you have to go out and find like-minded people that are ready for growth, and you have to surround yourself with those people. Do what it takes, and that will prove your willingness to growth. And then number 3 is walk the walk. You can flap your little jaw all you want about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But until you actually put some action behind it, people are going to be like, okay, that's great, Sage. But if you actually start walking the walk, they're like, dang, girl, you meant what you said. You got to prove it by walking the walk. So circling around, here's your new response. I'm willing to work on that. How can you change your growth? By leveling up the language that you use in your life and then level up the growth. Here's your intention. I am willing to work on that. The universe will hear you. I'm Sage. I'm a growth coach. Thanks so much for your time today. Kind of a fun topic. I think this one will take you pretty far. So you can share this video with others. I would appreciate that. You can subscribe on my YouTube page, Sage Robinson Miller, and on my Facebook page, @GrowingSage. And I appreciate you being part of the community. It takes a village. Love ya.